Kansas Logistics Park is preeminently, first, it is a manufacturing industrial park with a strong logistics background to it. And it came to fruition as a result of our work putting together the Harvey County Economic Vision for Transportation.
The Kansas Logistics Park is a manufacturing facility area for manufacturing locations and laydown sites located just outside of Newton and Harvey County. And it is designed to transport large products from producers to the customers throughout the Midwest.
The benefit to the city of Newton, the benefit to the region, and the benefit to the state for the Kansas Logistics Park, I think really is a multifold benefit from the standpoint that you have a small rural region or community and region that is aggressively trying to go out and position itself to be competitive, not only on a regional basis or a national basis, but on a global basis. And there are very few communities who are so forward-thinking, who are so progressive to go be thinking about a globally competitive response to new emerging markets and new opportunities.
The first thing is just Newton benefits in general from the exposure. You know, it never hurts to get your community's name out there, to get it known that you're forward-thinking, you're aggressive, you're looking at partnering with people. So that's an easy benefit. The other benefits obviously are, you know, with a project like Tyndall Corporation, for example, you're creating jobs, you're creating investment in the community, you're creating construction jobs, you're creating sales tax base. I mean, these people are going to be buying gas, candy bars, lunch at your restaurants, etc., staying in your hotels. And through that whole process, that also elevates the community. You know, it's the rising tide elevates all boats.
If you have infrastructure assets here, companies will locate here. Companies will hire people. There's a multiplier effect. For every wind energy job, there's 7 support jobs that go with it. Average salaries are in the 50,000 range. These are high-paying jobs that we can land here as well. But the other piece is that when you have infrastructure assets, that attracts business. Not just wind, but could be other things such as commodities, aggregates, equipment, all types of different industries.
As the park develops and companies move in, manufacturing occurs, that we'll have more people live in our community. They'll buy houses, they'll buy goods and products, that'll help the retailers. And I think as we have new people come to town, they bring new ideas and new things for us to work with and think about, and so I think it's a real plus for our community.
The Kansas Logistics Park obviously is going to create jobs. I mean, Tyndall alone is offering to bring 405 jobs to our community. What you have to realize is there's a spin-off factor of that. That when you bring in 405 new jobs with a company such as Tyndall Corporation, with a wage level that's at the rate they are, which is they're more technological, higher paid jobs, then that creates the opportunity for more jobs in your community. That creates the opportunity. You may need more nurses, you may need more baristas, you may need more clerks at the local service station.
From our initial contacts all the way through the specific site selection, the people there in Newton seemed to show a genuine interest in what was good for Tyndall and what was good for Newton. And very strong, skilled workforce locally, as well as the railroad infrastructure, the road infrastructure. We just felt like it was going to be a perfect fit.
CIBOR, the National Center of Innovation for Biomaterials and Orthopedic Research, is an entity that plans to lever off the current expertise in composites and extend it beyond aerospace into medical devices. CIBOR is very interested in all companies that are involved in advanced materials, particularly the manufacturing aspect of this. What we're trying to do is identify companies that have advanced capacity for producing composites and motivate them to be involved in medical device manufacture.
I think one of the most important reasons for a company to look at locating in the Kansas Logistics Park is the fact that the City of Newton, Harvey County, the Harvey County EDC, do not look at a company just to locate them here and say, okay, we're so glad you're here, okay, we're done with you. We look at the whole process as a partnership, is that the company and our organizations all become a team to continue to develop this community to be something that that company's proud of and that our communities are proud of.
Whiteco is the largest privately owned short line in the United States. We currently operate 22 railroads across 18 states. I think one of the very unique things about Newton and the development of the Kansas Logistics Park is that the highway access we have allows for shipments such as the wind energy components. If you look at a lot of the infrastructure in a lot of areas, it doesn't allow for the dimensional shipments due to the sheer size. More and more you're seeing the route of the wind energy companies to continue to build their components larger and larger. So we're sitting in the perfect spot, really, for rail access and road access, because this in reality is the furthest point really you can rail shipments of the size of a lot of the new rail wind components.
Well, the Port of Catoosa is a 2,000-acre industrial park that is serviced by a inland waterway. The Kansas Logistics Park is integral in us going forward, especially where the wind energy is concerned. Wind energy is going to be a big part of economic development in Kansas and Oklahoma. And we're going to be able to offer a great transport system from the Gulf of Mexico through the Mississippi, up the McKellen Curve to the Port of Catoosa, and then interchange with road and rail and onto the Kansas Logistics Park, where these large wind energy components can be assembled and taken to the wind farms.
The reason we're leading with wind is it's a very hot industry right now. Green is on everybody's mind. It so happens for us that the state of Kansas and ultimately Newton and Harvey County sit right smack in the middle of the wind corridor. Kansas is the #2 state in the nation right now for our capacity for wind generation. So it would make sense that if we're the #2 state for wind generation, which we have 120,000 megawatts of capacity, which is 12 gigawatts, to be generated in our state, you'd want to see as much focus on getting those products in here to be manufactured.
Wind is here to stay as an industry. It has grown from a small cottage-based industry 15, 20 years ago. We now have very formidable players in terms of wind farm development companies such as Tradewind and others. There are big manufacturers of equipment, GE, Vestas, Siemens, a whole litany of other major manufacturers. The U.S. policymakers have been behind wind and renewables for some time. We expect they will be into the future. Utility companies are becoming more familiar and experienced with wind farm operations. And again, the wind is going to be blowing for, as far as the eye can see. So wind is here to stay.
I think Kansas will continue to create jobs in a variety of areas. I think we're trying to look at how we can develop more resources for the construction of wind farms so that as we continue to build in Kansas, that we're really hiring Kansas workers for that. We've developed some training programs, some internships to help on the operations and maintenance side. And then on manufacturing, we're very encouraged by the companies that have already established operations or selected a site in Kansas. We think that that will continue as well. Our central location in the wind belt is very important, those training resources, and then the transportation infrastructure in the state is critical. So I think that Kansas can really be a wind hub. I think we have tremendous potential to be a leader in this industry.
community is going to benefit because those people that want to open their own business, develop a product that will support the larger companies coming in, it'll give them the opportunity to strike out on their own and have a growing business base up and down Main Street and in our other industrial parks.
I think this is a good opportunity. I think the timing is good because Harvey County and the city of Newton are on the leading edge of this movement and not on the trailing edge.
I certainly applaud our area for having the foresight to step forward with a logistics park.
For a community to survive in this day and age, you can't go stale. We cannot let the county and the 7 cities go stale. If you do, then the cost of running the government and doing the basic services is going to always increase. And by bringing in new industry and business that will be not at the site, that will support the site into the county, this will expand our tax base and help us keep our local taxes down.
This town started out because of the Chisholm Trail. Then the Chisholm Trail had to get the beef to the East Coast, and that's when the railroads came here in 1871. This region then rose to prominence with aircraft in World War II because we were far enough inside the country that at that time strategically bombers couldn't get to where the aircraft production was, and that really established this region as an air capital center. Now wind is the next phase of that because we are where the land is that has the capacity to produce the energy for the world, and that's our next phase of development, and that's going to be our next opportunity for economic growth, and the Kansas Logistics Park will play a key role in that.